When I say the word RIZZ, who do you think of? Besides me, of course. Whoever you're thinking of, if it's not one of the niggas on this list, you're thinking of the wrong person. Today I'm going to answer the question that absolutely no one in the history of ever has ever asked. Which cartoon characters have the most RIZZ? I can tell you right now it's not SpongeBob, but before I get into it, make sure to like and subscribe, else you be doomed to a RIZZ-less eternity. Johnny Bravo, the most obvious answer. Bro was born RIZZing. He RIZZes for a living, or at least I assume he does. I haven't watched the show since before Obama was president, so I can't remember whether he had a job or not, but what I can remember is the time he RIZZed up Velma. I don't know how much experience y'all got, but any nigga who has tried RIZZing up a nerd knows it is a tough task. Not to mention he did it by accident. There was also that time he had a prom date and he thought it was too skinny for his prom date, so instead of getting a tux to cover up his body, he got an elastic band and got to work and got the juiciest, fattest, girthiest muscles I've ever seen on anybody within the next week. His love, respect, and adoration for women is so much that he broke his limiter within 1 week. Bro might be Saitama. There was also that time one of his elementary school bullies pulled up on him. She hadn't seen my guy in years and was still stalking him. His long distance RIZZ is crazy. He used to punish this man like giving him wedgies and shit. But then she grew up, realized he's a hunk, and turned her entire life around. She dead started stalking him and then pulled up to his own crib with his own mom. She low-key RIZZed him up when she got to his crib, but to be fair, his long distance RIZZ was what got her there in the first place, so he's him. Quagmire is a great guy, such a great fucking guy. He's a pilot, father, and he hates Brian. All three good traits. However, while he does have RIZZ, a lot of his RIZZ is illegal. He has openly admitted to doing some things rather non-consensually. He also purrs on his friends' wives, which, you know, L-mans. Like the time he got caught peeking at Lois in the bathroom, or the time when Lois and Bonnie were putting on sunscreen, he cut a hole out through the fence so he could watch him, or when he straight up stole Cleveland's wife, and then almost did it again when Peter asked him to do it. Y'all get what I'm saying though, bro is a weirdo, but you don't just get to have your own neighborhood block party to celebrate your 1,000 sexual conquests without pulling some baddies along the way. And to be quite honest, I don't know how he only has 1,000 sexual conquests. We're talking about Quagmire, he is in the millions at least. But besides the nonsense, we can assume Quagmire is pulling at least 50% of the time. Phineas and Ferb, I'm gonna throw Jeremy in with them. These two do nothing but construct monumental architecture in their backyard every single day, yet they still somehow have excess time to pull all the girls around them. Buford and Baljeet spend their entire summer watching these niggas pull all the hoes. It was terrible. Phineas and Jeremy have managed to pull Isabella and Candace respectively and force them to obsess over them. Accidentally. I say force, but it wasn't on purpose. They just happened to be this way. There's a certain group of niggas on the internet who believe the only way to get girls is to manipulate them. These two niggas are proof that if you even have to try, you're doing something wrong. However, both of them get absolutely dwarfed by my nigga Ferb. Ferb quite literally doesn't even need to talk to pull. The very definition of unspoken RIZZ. And who does he pull? The only goth chick in the show. He is him. Furthermore, Vanessa has a boyfriend and is 16 years old. She might be a pervert because Ferb is 9. Bro got his almost adult girlfriend stolen by a 9-year-old. Let that sink in. Ferb didn't even talk to her for real. Ferb is a victim. Why is no one talking about this? Alejandro from Total Drama Island is without a doubt the most devious contestant to have ever been on the show, apart from Scarlett, because she was literally trying to kill niggas. But Alejandro was unmatched with how much psychological damage he could do. Bro won the show in his very first season. He was playing against seasoned veterans. Before Alejandro, there was Justin, who was pulling both guys and girls, but he was dumb. Alejandro had the same pulling ability and a brain to match it. He was pulling every single female character and Owen. Owen was ready to slob this nigga. Even his presence was enough to make Lindsay forget her own boyfriend's name. She didn't know Tyler's name until the middle of the season when Alejandro left her alone. He even bagged LaShawna, the stereotypical independent black woman. He made her fall in love with him and then literally pushed her off of a plane. It's actually insane how much of a gravitational pull this nigga had, but his RIZZ got wasted. After that season, he never pulled once again. But neither has anyone else, to be honest. So, Donkey from Shrek RIZZed up a dragon. I shouldn't have to say more, but I'm gonna. We live in a society where the hoes won't even look at you if you're noticeably short. It is hard out here. Not for me though. For y'all, I'm 6'2" and damn near married. But imagine you, a human-sized human, trying to RIZZ up a dragon and then replace yourself with a donkey. Imagine a donkey-sized donkey trying to RIZZ up a dragon. He couldn't even put on shoe inserts to look taller. And if we're being honest, no one in Shrek could really put that shit on. So he wasn't even wearing clothes. And on top of that, you know the saying hot dog down a hallway? Think that, but switch hot dog with micro penis and then switch hallway with the ocean. Imagine throwing a micro penis into the ocean and hoping the ocean gets pregnant. I assume they're gonna have marital issues and then get divorced by the end of Shrek 2, but nah. Dronkies. He RIZZed her up and then trapped her. City Boys up. Jake has a very similar situation as Donkey, except Jake can make up for his shortcomings, no pun intended, with his ability to mold and shape his body into whatever he dreams of. So if they're ever feeling a little bit frisky, Jake will never run out of neither length nor girth. However, after hearing about the Rainicorn Dog Wars and then realizing that Jake pulled the Rainicorn after the Rainicorn Dog Wars is just, damn. He's him squared. Another character from the same show is gonna have to be the Lich. He RIZZed up a snail while being encased in amber. And that snail was a ride or die. He was ready to kill for the Lich. There's not really much else to say. Vote the Lich for president. And then while you're voting, subscribe too. The last character we have for today is gonna be my boy, Pimp named Slickback. That is his full name. Do not mess it up.
No, nigga, I'm a pimp named Slickback. Crystal, who is this person?
Nigga, are you deaf? I'm a pimp named Slickback. Say it with me now.
A pimp named Slickback had that illegal RIZZ, the type of RIZZ that'll have your victims in the corner collecting money. And y'all know exactly what I mean. A pimp named Slickback was so masterfully armed with RIZZ that he had his own grandmother out collecting money for him. And the one time one of his, let's say, targets managed to escape, he came to get her, got in his car, drove away, and had her run after him, chasing the car. That is both physically and mentally abusive RIZZ. If I were to make a tier list of who had the most abusive RIZZ on this whole list, Quagmire would be in S tier, and a pimp named Slickback would be in the a pimp named Slickback tier. That's gonna do it for today. If you guys want to see a part 2 to this video, make sure you let me know in the comments down below. Also, like and subscribe. With that being said, make sure you guys go outside, drink plenty of water, and have a nice day.